On this video, we're going to learn how to write functions in vertex form. Let's just recall, a vertex form looks like this. Ax minus h squared plus k. Alright, now we're going to learn how to do, k. We're going to learn how to write any functions that I give you in this type of form. So first one, let's look at this. Y is equal to x squared plus 6x minus 5. Now we're going to perform this by completing the square. So here's what I'm going to do. Remember how we always took the middle number we took the middle number divided by 2. So you got 3. And then we squared it to get the last number. Now clearly, as you can see, it is not in that form. So here's what I'm going to do. Rather than moving 5 to the other side, I am going to just kind of leave myself a little room here. 6x, and I'm just going to put a 9 there, and minus 5. Okay, now, as you can see, we've done something very wrong here. We've added 9 to an equation which made the equation uneven. Some of you guys will say, since I added a 9 to the right hand side, I should do the same thing to the left hand side, which is completely correct. But this time I want y by itself. I don't want to touch it. So here's what I'm going to do. Since I added 9, I'm going to subtract 9 so that I can kind of technically say that I didn't do anything to this function, right? So if you add 9, then subtract 9, you did not do anything to this function. So this is what we call tricking the function in my classroom. Don't tell other people because they'll get really offended. So once we got here, we can go ahead and change this into perfect square, which would be x plus 3. You see what we're trying to do here? And that one right there will turn into negative 14. And this right here is our vertex form. Now let's kind of define our a, h, and k since we're here. Your a, since there's nothing up here, is invisible once your a is equal to 1. Your h, remember, although this is positive 3, it looks like your h is completely opposite of it because of this negative sign. So your h is negative 3. Your k is negative 14. Not bad. Now let's kind of deal with the ones that we really don't like to do, ones that we kind of have to think a little bit more. How about this? Here's the second problem that we're going to look at. Let's let y is equal to negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 3. Excuse my 2's because I know it never looks like a 2. In this case, once again, we're gonna complete the square as we usually would with these two, right? But let's kind of think back to before. Before, we said if we had anything in front of x squared, we wanted to take that out or divide everything by negative 2. In this case, I really kind of don't want to, although I could. I kind of don't want to. Here's the reason why. If I do that, I'm going to end up having y over negative 2 on the other side, which is something that I just do not want to have. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go ahead and factor out negative 2 rather than dividing by negative 2. So I'm going to factor out negative 2 just from those two right here. So I get x squared minus 4x. And as I would, I'm going to leave myself a little room, and then minus 3 will just chill outside. Now, if you ever wonder that you're changing a function and you're not doing something right, just go ahead and check it. If I go ahead and distribute those out, it'll just go back to exactly what I had before. Alright, now I'm going to complete the square here. As we usually would, divide the negative 4 by 2. We get negative 2. Square it, and we get positive 4. So I'm adding 4. Now let's kind of take a look at it. you gotta be a little bit careful here. Now, although I added 4 within the parentheses, in the whole equation, we've added not just 4, but also we've added negative 8. Because you see, if I have to distribute this, this becomes negative 8. Since I have subtracted 8, right, what should we do? We should add 8 to neutralize the equation. Because if we subtracted 8, we need to add 8. So if that kind of makes sense, right? Before we have added 9, we subtracted 9. Since this becomes negative 8, I'm going to add 8. Not bad. So let's go ahead and put this in perfect square form. So negative 2 x minus 2 squared plus 5. So in this case, my a would be negative 2, h would be 2, and k would be 5. The only things that you really have to be careful is this part right here that I'm circling in green. Is when you factor out negative 2, you need to make sure that it's going to be there. Now, some people just don't like this way, so let's kind of look at the other way that you can possibly do with the same equation. So y is equal to negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 3. So if you would so like to divide everything by negative 2 rather, then I would end up having y over negative 2 is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 3 over 2. Now I would kind of carry on the regular thing. Now I would have y over negative 2, and I'm going to complete the square here. X minus 4, x squared minus 4x plus 4 as we would, plus 3 over 2. Now since you've added 4 here, I should subtract 4 over here, which would give me y over negative 2 is equal to x minus 2 squared. And when I perform this act right here, I should get, use your calculators. I know a lot of you guys are just freaking out over this. Put this in your calculator. It'll give it for you. If not, this is what you should get. Negative 5 over 2. Now we're almost done here, but our goal was not to have y over negative 2. We need to have y by itself, so I'm going to multiply everything by negative 2. Everything by negative 2. So I end up getting y is equal to negative 2 x minus 2 squared plus 5, which is what I had before either way. So either way is fine, whichever one is comfortable with you. I am okay with that. You just got to be able to understand that you're not looking for y over negative 2. You're looking for y by itself is equal to our vertex form. And I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions. And as you can see, I'm putting everything in Google Drive right here on your Trick Students folder.